Hi, thanks for joining the show today. Today we're talking about Don't Wait to Unmake a Bully, which is a program under the umbrella of the Don't Wait Project, the nonprofit I founded in 2011. It is a program that largely deals with anti-bullying education, but also includes character development, safe media use, all the things that our students of today could use help in education in. We usually do the program hands-on in classrooms throughout the country. We've also done it in places outside of the United States. And when the school shut down, we wanted to figure out how to continue our program, but two, figure out how to also support the teachers and students with this education and how they could do it from home. Wenatchee, Washington, 2 teachers and several students agreed to be part of our pilot program that we're hearing was a huge success with the teachers and with the students. We'll have a couple of teachers on later in the show as well as a couple of students, and at the end of the show we'll show you their fully produced PSA, so stick around for that. We'll have Mike Feurstein on first. He's here with us from New York. He launched the program here in Wenatchee, and now we're launching it in Manhattan, New York. We're just excited about the reach and being able to be there for our students. Thanks so much, Mike, for being here.
You as well.
So we met, I founded the project in 2011. I think we met the following year. You were doing the UnMake a Bully program in one school in New York, and now we're in schools throughout the country since partnering.
Yeah.
Go give a brief overview of what the project is like in a classroom setting so we can talk about how we've moved it to a virtual setting.
Right. Yeah. So in the classroom, of course, we're meeting each other, all the students for the first time on a Monday, getting to know their issues, talking to them about the tenets of our program, which is mainly focused in the classroom on anti-bullying, a little bit on the media. Then they write their script based on true stories and produce it. We come in with gear, lights like this one here, cameras, expensive cameras, slates, sound, all sorts of Hollywood style movie gear, and the kids go to work using it all and kind of being in charge of the whole thing, directing, acting, and then at the end we have a finished piece that the whole group feels proud of because they all had a hand in it.
So they get to be part of every step, and it's a week-long program in a classroom with usually 3 different classrooms.
They each spend a full day producing.
Right. Yep. Each day. So it's Monday is the introduction and education. Tuesday is often the script writing, and I've seen that process many times and how you really take so many ideas from the classroom so that at the end the script feels like everyone's script, and you help teach them how to write a script. And then days 3, 4, and 5, each of those 3 classrooms take a turn spending the whole day producing. They're always amazed that it takes all day long, a whole school day minus lunch, to film like 60 seconds to 2 minutes of a PSA. So this happened, the pandemic and the sheltering in, and you and I started emailing each other about the time when things were looking like schools could close. And we thought, oh no, schools won't close. And they did. So that every program we had booked through the rest of the school year, which is several, we are booked. Like when Mike shows up in a school, we're booked for the next year that same week, usually. Yeah. Way ahead. So we're booked out. So let's talk about the process and the need for creating virtual content. Our thought was, hey, teachers need some help here. They're suddenly thrown online. Kids are thrown online. Let's figure out a virtual program. So talk about, from your point of view, that thought process as we built this virtual program that's just now launching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't skeptical so much as I was like really trying to think, how can we make a program that the crux of it is being hands-on, like using the gear, working with each other in a group. How can we make that into something that's virtual where no one can be in the same room as each other using any of the same gear? So it was important to me that whatever we did would still feel like they had control over it, that their ideas were being realized in the final product. Like that they could see, I had this idea, it became this direction, which became this piece of footage. And also that they had that feeling of togetherness, that we felt like we were a team doing it and not just a bunch of satellite filmings going on being put together by editing. Like it needed to feel cohesive. So really, we just took the tenets of the program. We've been teaching the Mediasphere program for about a year now. So I took those because it made more sense to be online talking about the media. Ask the kids what they've experienced as far as media goes, whether it's social media, group texts, things like that, interpersonal, or watching TV and YouTubers and seeing blatant lies. This product is great. They buy the product, it's not so great. Who did you listen to and why? So how do you navigate a field where sometimes it's too late because you've already sent the text or sent the email or made the statement or bought the product? How do you deal with it?
Bought into an idea.
Right, yeah.
Ideas. It's not a tangible thing you order, but it's something you see, and just because you see it somewhere doesn't mean it's true, or doesn't mean it holds the same truth for you.
Exactly, yeah. And we tell them, we say, the media and social media, it's not all bad, but there are things that are, and we need to be able to differentiate between the two. So it's about
for young people who are, just learning how to even handle their own emotions about how they feel. Adults have a hard time with that. Social media arenas, let alone kids. And we mean kids, 4th, 5th grade to high school.
Hopefully what we're doing is building critical thinking adults, out of this program. So, or they're going home, or they're they're home, or they're going to their parents and saying, oh my gosh, this thing I learned, and it's creating, critical thinking in their parents now.
Yeah.
But critical thinking is the key to the program here. And so as long as we can get them there, and then telling stories and turning them into scripts, that was kind of the same, turning a script into a bunch of stories. But then how do we produce it? So we piloted it with a class in Wenatchee, and we realized that it was actually pretty easy for them to translate simple script directions into their own cell phone or iPad filmed movies. Took a couple tries because it's trial and error, which they learn in our hands-on program too. Take 1, take 2, take 100. And then edit it together, and the kids really saw how their story was told. And one of them even said that it felt like we were together again when we watched it, because it was everyone's work in one.
One of the things we wanted to reiterate to anyone who's interested in the program or who's utilizing the program is it's not just in front of a computer or on their gadgets. You send them on kind of a virtual scavenger hunt and have them get up and move and use their bodies, and even film some of that for the finished piece.
Yeah, the on your mark, get set, go moment of the scavenger hunt, you can see them, and then they run. And then, almost got it. You can see them running around the house in the background trying to find the objects to take pictures of. And then, overnight we have them do the exercise where they have to do their favorite exercise, jumping jacks, handstands, burpees, whatever. Film it from 4 different angles. So that kind of practices their eye, seeing things from different angles. So when they're ready to film their final piece, the actual scene, they've thought not only in composition-wise, but also that 3-dimensional, Z-axis. How do I decorate the background? Should I be in the foreground? Should I be in the middle? Should the light be from this side? Should I be shadowed? How's my emotions? So we talk all through that, which we don't get a chance to a lot in the classroom because of how fast the day has to go. So this has actually afforded us a chance to talk more about, we do talk about the inner character, but even more so here, and how it relates to the picture. And hopefully what that does is it gets them creating a piece where they have put that kind of thought into it, so that if they can watch something on TV or the movies later, they'll see that those thoughts are put into the same thing.
I wondered too, and we can hop off here in a sec, but if it's more comfortable for the kids almost because they're in their homes, they're in their environment, classroom, I know it might take a little, I know you work a lot that first day getting them warmed up. So hopefully when they're in their own environment, they kind of, they're opening up a bit. They might be sitting at their desk at home or on their bed or in a comfortable chair and kind of tuning into what you're saying. So I just commend you for the work you're doing, because no matter what we come up with, you implement it perfectly, and you're a great partner to work with in this program. Such a huge asset to the Don't Wait Project. So thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you.
And for all that you're doing all over the world from your spot right there. Hi, we're back. Thanks for joining us today. We're talking about modifying school programs to fit the virtual world of learning that students and teachers are adapting to right now. The Don't Wait Project has done an anti-bullying program, character development, media, education for 8 years now, called Don't Wait to UnMake a Bully. We've taken on different areas of character development and other things, like I said. And we took our program that is done in a classroom setting throughout the country, and turned it into a virtual program that's done throughout the world. We just talked with Mike, and he did the program here in Wenatchee. We have a teacher and student here on the show, and he actually launched our Manhattan, New York program virtually today. So we're trying to keep up. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So we have teacher Kadie Rang, Mrs. Rang. Where do you teach?
At Lincoln Elementary.
Lincoln Elementary. And then Quotamo, what school do you go to? Lincoln? Is Mrs. Rang your teacher?
Yes.
So thanks for being here, both of you. I appreciate it. So do you feel, Quotamo, after your virtual experience with Mike, that you have a better understanding of what you can do with that device in your hand for good?
Yes.
What would you say overall you learned in your participation?
I learned that it's not always just about like you talking to your friends. It's about meeting your whole like class and learning more online.
To use it for good, right? Like sometimes, do you feel like sometimes online gets a bad rap because there's a lot of things you aren't supposed to see, and maybe this is something you get to look forward to?
Yes.
Great. So Mrs. Rang, Kadie, and Quotamo have both done the in-person program and now the virtual program. So Kadie, talk about it from your point of view, having done the virtual program and in the classroom. What are the differences, but how did it meet your expectation? And if it didn't meet it, let me know that too, so we can work on it.
The biggest difference with the online is just that not every student in our class gets to participate, because this was just kind of an opportunity, and we presented it to the students that way. Who wants to do this again? Who is willing and able to put in extra time on top of their schoolwork? And so not every student got to participate. When we were in the classroom setting, every single person got to participate, whether it be the slate or the behind the scenes filming and things like that. So I think some students shied away because they didn't think that they wanted to do it online. But I think after seeing it come together, that it would be an easier sell, and it would be easy to say, it's not, you don't have to act. Quotamo didn't act. He didn't think that he wanted to do the acting online when he did it in person. And then the other way, we had a student that was that was the slate, and she acted this time. And so it's nice to see different personalities come out online versus in person.
Well, and that's one of the things we talked about is in a classroom setting, some kids will be more comfortable, and in a home setting, they'll be more comfortable, and learning how to use their devices for a positive, project like this. I think one of the things that we really tried to bring into this program was, and like you talk about, a tough sale. People who've done it in person, how can it work online? And we're just trying to fill a gap, fill a gap and give you guys some time and give the kids something to look forward to. So Quotamo, when you participated in the in-class production, what did you learn this time that's different from what you learned the first time?
I learned that sometimes to like get your work done, you need to like really be more positive than just not trying to get it done. Like in the classroom, sometimes I just wanted to go to the bathroom and just stay for like a couple of minutes just because I didn't want to be there, because it's getting really tiring to just keep on working after like the whole day.
Well, I've been on the set with Mr. Mike, many times, and I feel the same way as you sometimes, because you don't realize how long it's going to take to film like 60 seconds to 2 minutes, right? Do you feel like you, Quotamo, that you got to do some activities you wouldn't have otherwise done?
Yes, because when we were in person, I didn't get to like draw or anything, but I really like drawing. So when we were like doing it online, I like the part where I get to make the lines and like draw them out.
To get to do something that you wouldn't otherwise have done. Well, is there anything else? I would like to know, Quotamo, if you were to make a suggestion to us, because you participated in our first ever program. It was our pilot program. We'd never done it before. Looks like we'll be doing a lot of it, which we can do even once everyone's back in schools. This helps us reach people in different parts of the country we may have missed. What would be your suggestion or change or something that we could do differently to improve your experience?
So we can have like the students always put their cameras on so they get used to like being in front of the teachers.
Like because you guys use Google Classroom? Is that what
Yes.
So some people can block out their screen, and you think if they leave them on, then they're more interactive.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let Mr. Mike know that. Well, we are hoping to have all the permissions in place by the time this airs to show it with the show. That's our goal. And I appreciate your time and attention and participating in our first ever. And were you at the premiere last night online, Potomo?
Yes.
Oh, good. Did you like that? It was pretty fun, huh?
Yes.
I heard you guys got some legendary ice cream. That was good. Well, thanks so much for being here, both of you. And we look forward to working with you again, hopefully in person.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care. Hi, thanks for coming back with us. If you stick around till the end of the segment, you'll get to see the student-produced PSA, our first virtual program with Mr. Mike and students in the Wenatchee Valley. He is conducting the program now, this week, as we speak, in Manhattan, New York. And we're going to take it as far as we can, giving the students and teachers some fun stuff to do in their day while learning about character development and anti-bullying and how to be safe on the media. Tina Brown is a teacher here in our community, a total rock star. She's here joining us, as well as Leilani. Thanks for being here, both of you. Tina, Mrs. Brown, you're a teacher here in Wenatchee, and you're a teacher who gets all kinds of things done. You always find a way to make it great for the kids and always find the money. And Leilani, you are a student here. What school do you go to?
I go to Lincoln Elementary.
And you got to participate in the virtual program.
Yes.
Well, let's start with Tina. Tina, you participated in the in-class program, and now you've done the virtual version, which is our pilot program that you were kind enough to, you and Katie, to put some students together. What do you see as the differences between the in-class setting and the virtual setting?
There really isn't much of a difference. The kids are hands-on. The kids are interacting with each other and with Mr. Mike. They're solving real-world problems at their level. The only major difference is the virtual program, the students are interacting with their personal devices, their iPads and cell phones and computers, where in person, they got to interact more with traditional filmmaking equipment. But all of the components are there. And I have to say, I kind of like the virtual way better. Students had more ownership. They had more time to work on their piece. They got to use their environment as well. It really connected all of us. We got to get a little peek of what each other's lives are outside of a school building. And I really believe that made the piece more authentic.
Well, I love to hear that, because we were really panicked. Like, what do we do? We're booked throughout the rest of the school year. How do we help? But also, how do we keep this program that we work so hard for? How do we keep it going? So thank you for those comments. Leilani, you participated in the virtual program. What was your job?
My job was to be a friend on any device, like an iPad, and I used my iPad to just talk a lot on it. And so Mr. Mike would put our faces on one of the other person's phone when she was holding it up like that. And so 3 of our faces would be on there, and we would just be talking at once.
So you were one of the actors?
Yes.
Got it. And what would you haven't done the in-classroom program, but you were asked as a volunteer if you wanted to participate. So what about that appealed to you? Why did you decide to sign up?
I decided to sign up since I've done a lot of signing up in like actual classes. Like I did Labo, like Nintendo Labo, with including Miss Brown and Miss Panko. And I wanted to do more virtual stuff since I'm mostly bored in the house.
Ooh.
So I would like to see other friends from other classes and see them and do a little film.
That's actually another benefit that I probably hadn't thought about, that you get to interact with students that you wouldn't otherwise, because you're usually in this classroom or this classroom. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So what was your favorite part about it?
That even though we're apart, we could still see each other. And if you're in your pajamas at home, you could still stay comfortable in there and just see your friends, teachers, classmates.
Well, I gotta admit, I've got my fancy shirt, my blouse, and my jewelry on, but I've got sweatpants at the bottom that you can't see. Probably didn't have to tell you that, but I did. So Tina, what was your takeaway, your biggest takeaway, you say?
That kids are resilient. They're going to participate and learn and want to be part of their bigger school community, whether we're all together in the same four walls or if we're doing it virtually. Their concerns about the world are no different now that they're at home versus in the classroom, and they have real things to share. I am passionate about getting elementary students, kids, the opportunity to voice what scares them, what is exciting to them. And this program does it. It gave them the ability to say, hey, you know, we sometimes get a bad rap as kids that we're always on our devices. And this specific script that they put together really gives the community the opportunity to see that kids do use devices in a positive manner. And I hope that the community takes that to heart, that these kids are not sitting at home doing nothing. There are many, many kids that want to do something for the community, and they want to be part of a bigger learning experience.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. So we really appreciate you partnering with us and helping us achieve that goal. We're really excited because, you know, this was like how do we, you know, continue our program and how do we reach students? But like we were talking about with Kadie in the early segment and Mike, that we can do this program from anywhere now, and we know this. And hearing from you that you like it just as much or maybe a little more than the other one, and having done it in a classroom setting, that's very encouraging to us. So Leilani, would you like to introduce for us to the audience that what they're about to watch, the PSA, just anything you want to say about it? We don't want to give it away, but we're about to put them on it and let them see it.
Sure. I would say it's a fun interacting film that people could be at different places at once and feel like you're together again.
That's perfect. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to you. We're going to go out of the show and show your PSA and your production and a little bit of behind the scenes. And just thank you both for being here.
Who's ready to make a movie?
This person could be in their bedroom.
And probably daytime, right? While we're filming our movies with our phones and our iPads, this time we have to think about angles, okay? Close-up shot, extreme close-up shot. Show us your bloopers. Who here's ever had a problem with social media? As have I.
We made the movie while apart, but makes us feel like we're all together again.
What are you doing alone in here? Go on your phone. Go out for air. Do something.
You know what? Let's play Minecraft instead.
Sounds good. Hey, have you heard from Samantha?
No, I tried to text her or whatever, but she didn't reply.
Okay. Hey, dig up that gold.
These are hard times. We have to reach out to people, even if they don't reach out to us.
It has a loud snore. I don't know about it. These dogs could smell 100 times better than humans.
Man, everyone's having such a great time except for me. Running around outside, playing video games.
Hey, can you get off the computer now?
I gotta go now. Bye.
Hey, Victor, maybe we should talk to Samantha.
Yeah, sounds good. let me FaceTime.
Sometimes you need time away from all that social media. But other times we need a connection to people.
Make that connection for yourself, for others, and to everyone.
The Toyota RAV4 is the best-selling SUV in its class. The legendary RAV4 started selling in 1994 as Toyota's first compact SUV. In addition to the gas engine RAV4, Toyota is the only brand offering 4 hybrid trim levels. Its cabin serves up a sleek design, and rear seat passengers enjoy plenty of room. Come test drive a RAV4 at Town Toyota today. The best-selling SUV just got better.